library has no books. There's no good books. What am I going to read? I don't know what to do. Does that sound like you? Do you like the Wimpy Kid books? Are you looking for something else to? Yeah, maybe even read them twice. Well, I picked some books that I thought were kind of similar to the Wimpy Kid books, and so I wanted to share a couple of them with you. This one's called Loser. It's by an author named Jerry Spinelli, and it starts like this. Chapter 1, You Grow Up. You grow up with a kid, but you never really notice him. He's just there, on the street, the playground, the neighborhood. He's part of the scenery, like the parked cars and the green plastic cans on trash day. You pass through school, first grade, second grade. There he is, going along with you. You're not friends, you're not enemies. You just cross paths now and then. Maybe at the park playground one day, you look up, and there he is on the other end of the seesaw. Or it's winter, and you sled to the bottom of Half Tank Hill, and you're trudging back up, and there he goes, zipping down, his arms out like a swan diver, screaming his head off. And maybe it annoys you that he seems to be having even more fun than you, but it's a 1-second thought, and it's over. You don't even know his name, and then, one day you do. You hear someone say a name, and somehow you just know that's who the name belongs to. It's that kid, Zinkoff. So that's how the story starts. It's a book about another kid kind of like Greg and the Wimpy Kids, that he's not the most popular and he's not the most cool, and he kind of gets picked on, but this book has a great surprise ending that I won't tell you. So that's by Jerry Spinelli. He's written a lot of books that you might like. This one is called There's a Girl in My Hammerlock. It's about a girl who, again, doesn't fit in, and she's not very girly. In fact, she gets on the wrestling team. And
there's actually girls on the wrestling team.
Actually, a few.
Here's another one by Jerry Spinelli called Crash. It's actually about a football player. He's kind of cool, but there's another kid that he kind of picks on. And there's an interesting turn of events in that one. Here's this book by Jack Gantos, Joey Pigsaw. Has anyone heard of those? He's a kid with ADHD, and maybe that's you, or maybe you know someone like that. But he kind of has a hard time sitting still, and he gets into some crazy adventures at school. And one more. It's called Better Than Weird. Sounds a lot like the Wimpy Kids. Here's what it says on the back. Aaron isn't like other kids. He sounds like a hyena when he laughs, and he can't sit still. But he's managed to make a couple of friends, and at least one enemy. Now he's anxiously awaiting the arrival of his father, whom he hasn't seen in 8 years. But will his dad leave again because he thinks Aaron is too weird? Will the school bully beat him up? And will his dad ever be proud of him? So that's one you might want to try. And then last of all, if you like the Wimpy Kid books, I've got a new series here for you, brand new. They just came in.
What's this one?
The first one's called The Strange Case of the Origami Yoda. And it starts like this. The big question, is Origami Yoda real? Well, of course he's real. I mean, he's a real finger puppet made out of a real piece of paper. But I mean, is he real? Does he really know things? Can he see the future? Does he use the Force? Or is he just a hoax that fooled a whole bunch of us at Macquarie Middle School? It's really important for me to figure out if he's real, because I've got to decide whether to take his advice or not. And if I make the wrong choice, I'm doomed. So that's how it starts. The Strange Case of the Origami Yoda, and it's got little drawings in it too, just like the Wimpy Kid books. There's Darth Paper Strikes Back, The Surprise Attack of Jabba the Puppet, and R2-D2's Guide to Folding and Doodling. So there's a great new series you might want to try. Now, you might notice I have more books over here. Anybody into the Warrior series? Miss Cove tells me that kids are always asking her what to read after the Warriors, so I chose some books to go along with the Warriors. There's a great series by an author named Brian Jacques. It's called the Red Wall series. It's kind of along the same animals. This one's kind of like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. It starts like this. It was a warm old autumn afternoon of russet and gold, a time for legends and stories of seasons long gone. Blue haze on the far horizon blended sea and sky into one. On the pale sands of a silent shore, ebbing waves had carelessly strewn a broken necklace of shells and pebbles along the tide line. Standing tall and mysterious was the mountain, like some huge beast guarding the coast. So you can see it's a little more magical and animals in that one. If you were stuck on cats, here's one called The Familiars. Let's see what else we have. Artemis Fowl is a great book. My son liked this book, and I think my son read 2 books in his life. But he read that one, so that's a good one. He's not into reading, except what his teachers made. He didn't read for fun. There's a whole series here on dragons. There's 1, 2, tons of those. I'm just going to lay them out so you can take a look and see if there's any you might be interested in. And then I had one more. Oh, there's another series on owls. The Guardians of Gahul, kind of the same thing. The animals are in all kinds of adventures. And lastly, here's a new one called The House of Secrets. I'll read you that one. Trees with trunks as thick as houses reached up so high that Brandon and Eleanor couldn't see the tops no matter how they craned their necks. Beams of dappled light broke on the giant ferns spread like green fans over mossy lawns. It looked like the painted background in a dinosaur exhibit, still and calm and even a bit fake. Trees marched into the distance, blending into a uniform brown and green curtain. "Where are we?" gasped Eleanor. Brendan opened the window. Sounds swept in, caws, chirps, and rustlings in the air. Just a little teaser to get you going. So I'm going to spread these books out. I encourage you to take a look at them. And I encourage you too, when you are looking for books, keep your mind open and look for some new ones. And try to read at least 5 pages before you decide if you like it or not. Yes? These? Yes, you are. So, that's all I have. Yes? Yes, you may. You sure may. Yes.